Hello, boys and girls. I have a special message for you from the President of the United States. Let me read it to you. I salute the boys and girls who are buying United States savings stamps and bonds through the Treasury's School Savings Program. They're learning the lessons of practical citizenship and of wise money management. And they're giving important support to the cause of freedom and the men who fight for us in Vietnam. That message is on this wallet-size U.S. Savings Bonds pledge card, which you'll get in school as soon as you begin to buy U.S. savings stamps. Let's get started today. What do you say?
I think it's fair to say that the Americans in Vietnam are in very good heart and are prepared to continue even against this kind of danger and this kind of sneak attack. Let me say one more thing about that sneak attack, that in a war of this kind, in which there are no fixed lines, in which there are large territories that are lightly inhabited and that are essentially jungle and mountainous in character, I know no military man who believes that without an overwhelming assignment of local defense forces, it is possible to guarantee against this kind of sneak attack.
I don't suggest buying shaving lotion, shaving cream, or any of this good smelling stuff, because the VC can smell it. When you're out there at night, try to get soap that doesn't smell at all and use that to shave with and wash with, because they can sure smell it.
When you go forth to war against your enemies and see horses and chariots and an army larger than your own, you shall not be afraid. Well, let's not anybody be so naive as to think we're here in any way to worship football. Nor are we here, as I'm sure many people believe, to pray for a victory. We believe in victory. We believe it'll come to the team that's best prepared. This is serious business that we're involved in, and that's religious, and God cares. There are going to be men made tonight, and that's religious, and God cares about that.
And it would be just exactly what the enemy wants. He'd like us to put down 100,000 men in the field, and they put down 100,000. They're willing to lose half of theirs, and ours is a precious commodity. And I wouldn't trade one dead American for 50 dead Chinamen.
My command, they're the finest soldiers I've ever seen.
The Viet Cong.
That's right. They are dedicated, and they're good soldiers. They're the best I've ever seen.
So we're concerned about the big game, but we're also concerned about the bigger game, the biggest game of all that surrounds us, the game of life. May you be winners. Winners in the big game, but even more importantly, winners in the biggest game of all, which we all play. Let us pray.
In this unknown place called LZ Dodge, deign, O Lord, to rescue me. Let all be put to shame and confusion who seek to snatch away my life. Deign, O Lord, to rescue me. Amen.
This is one bridgehead I secured. Have a good trip.
Grenade. It came all the way through the building, hit over one. Have you pushed forward? Armin up!
Yes, of course it is. They just had some real situations through the line. Hey, Manus, what do they got to do? Cut out a sign?
What do they got to do? Put out a sign? Get down.
364, clear power around the hill. Say flight is 67 westbound, I'll have pretty well. That's where I'm at.
Everybody get off the middle of this LZ. Everybody move out. Get out there. 4-6, get that motor set up on the hill. I want fire in 1 minute.
Oh, wow, there's no doubt about it. It's wrong, you know. I mean, the Bible says, you know, thou shalt not kill. It doesn't say thou shalt not kill, parentheses, unless there's war or you hate somebody. It says thou shalt not kill, period, you know. I think that goes for everything. You know, putting on a uniform doesn't give you a license to kill somebody, you know. I don't know.
And I'm with Gene. If I go back and I see one of them walking down the streets waving the NBA flag, I'm going to get out and I'm going to deck that son of a bitch. And they can lock me if they please. That's just the way I feel.
Come on, first. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, Sergeant Scott. Falling behind. We might have something up there. Just keep going up the top of the hill. Pull up behind 2-6 maybe. Come on, Sergeant Havard. You're overdue.
Well, let me see. It's not too hot up here in Quezon. It's the weather's kind of cool, and I suppose I'm lucky in that respect because I'm up in a cool place, way up in the mountains, all that kind of good stuff. Where, you know, just as close as Daranhara, the temperatures are getting up to 102, 110. They get up to 90 here, 90 and 95. 95 is the max it gets here mostly, and down Saigon, geez, I guess that's, by now it's about 120 every day, I imagine.
I get a chance to see all of you together. And I just want to let you know about today's operation, tomorrow's operation, called Operation Irving. I think it helps you a lot better if you get an idea of what role you play in the war. While I'm on the subject, I'm sure we're going to get a little sniper fire tonight. I've issued instruction to all the platoon leaders. Can all of you hear me all right? I've issued instructions to all the platoon leaders that the LPs be withdrawn. If we get sniper fire from this village over here, they're going to wish the hell they hadn't picked on B Company. Okay. This, and I'm not the best artist in the world, this mountain and ridge, but specifically this area, LZGG, is that big hill mass over there that has a heavily wooded draw running up to the top into the clouds. That is the LZ, weather permitting, that we will be landing on tomorrow.
right now. We lost 2nd Platoon. They was wiped out. And part of 1st Platoon. They lost a lot of people.
The ambush wasn't cleared, and so the second convoy today turned back as well. And today, at any rate, way is cut off because the weather is bad and there is no air support nor air supply. Right now, the Navy and the Army boats that also bring supplies up the Perfume River are having to undergo heavy small arms and mortar fire as they turn the bend in the river here around Way itself. And the landing zone on this, the south side of the river, has been under almost constant.
Folks, join the crowd! Come on in, support our boys in Vietnam!
It has not affected me a whole lot. I mean, the American and the way of life is still here.
Once in a while I think about it, but I like to think about the things that are happening right now to me.
Well, can I ask you a question? Who's right and who's wrong now?
Who's right?
The Viet Cong right, the Russians right, or we?
Here's the point.
Who's right or wrong? I'm asking you a question. I just want an answer to it. God, it's true. What should you do with principle?
Is it right to kill?
So my kids don't get killed, yes.
So your kids, what's so special about your kids than any other kid in the world?
They're mine. I'm an individual and they're mine.
Because you want to see your kid happy, destroy the rest of the kids in the world?
Survival is for the fittest.
What? That's a selfish mother.
Survival
if you was a regular...
What does napalm mean?
Napalm. Nobody knows what napalm is?
No, I don't.
Napalm.
Napalm, that's what it means?
We're taught that we're to obey our governments, and I would have to go if I was instructed to.
I know very little about it over there, I'll tell you. And the less I know, the better off I'll be.
Mobile defense seems to mean putting 3,000 men on the ground and allowing them to sit in the mud and wait for the shell with their name on it.
What's that? Emergency medevac, ASAP. Top priority. All right, somebody think.
There isn't really much you can do, you know what I mean? You see the rounds come in, you see your buddies get blown away and wounded and stuff like that. Big bullseye on top of a hill. And you're just sitting there waiting. You can't be safe, you can be lucky. That's it.
Stuff landing all over, bouncing off you, and you get just as scared every time. And it gets worse. The closer they get, the more they throw. The more you get scared. Then you get up. It's a wonderful feeling just to be alive, to be able to walk around after one of those. What are you waiting for? Grandma.
Okay, keep your head down, okay?
Yeah, that's what gets me.
That's not the way we're supposed to do.
We're supposed to be hard chargers, man. We're supposed to go out and get them. I think if they pull a good search and destroy up here, we could clear them out.
Well, I don't know. You get out there 50 feet, you're lost already in the jungle. I mean, it looks pretty clear from here.
Either that or just have a B-52 scope. Up one side, back.
The only thing they hit is the ground.
It's just a constant siege here, and you don't know exactly when the incoming's coming, and you don't know how much it's going to be from day to day. And
how would you compare it to other places that you've served in Vietnam?
Well, this is the worst I've been at. It's you just most of the time you can't get anything done because there's too much incoming. You can't get out much at all. It's just too dangerous to get out, and it just gets on your nerves. That's all.
can't say that I'm scared stiff, but I'm scared. I mean, after a while, you know it's going to come. You can't do nothing about it. And you just look to God.
Where it's going?
Yes.
If we don't get some more people up in this area real quick, and we don't get some more B-52s real fast, then these people are going to be all the way down to Da Nang before anybody knows it. Does everybody agree with that? 100%.
Yeah, we traced it down. The WP belongs to the mortars. No problem. Just tell them to make sure that we've got elements closing up on that location at this time. I want to be certain that when we do fire, that all rounds do land proximity of the top. Break, Charlie 18, Charlie
0800 returned by 1000 on the morning of the 25th. They departed on schedule at 0800. Reported reaching checkpoint 1 and departing for checkpoint 2.
To make certain that we don't fire up our own troops. How about checking it out? Lieutenant Perry? Charlie 2-3. Now, Roger, how many units have you got shooting on top?
A short while later, a transmission was received in the company CP that 2 to 3 NVA were sighted in the open. Actually, at that time, we figure 600 to 800 meters beyond where they were originally scheduled to be. When they reported sighting these 3 enemy, they requested permission to attempt to make a capture. Almost immediately, within a matter of minutes, they reported heavy enemy fire.
Until we started taking fire. And the ARVN started to split, and that's when I got it. I said, oh my God, I'm hit. I couldn't believe it. You know, I can't believe it. I'm really hit. On this shitty piece of ground, I'm dying. And I can't fucking believe it.
I'm an old man now, and a lonesome man in Kansas, but not afraid to speak my lonesomeness in a car, because not only my lonesomeness, it's ours, all over America, oh, tender fellows. And spoken lonesomeness is prophecy, in the moon 100 years ago or in the middle of Kansas now. It's not the vast plains mute our mouths that fill at midnight with ecstatic language when our trembling bodies hold each other breast to breast on a mattress. Not the empty sky that hides the feeling from our faces, nor our skirts and trousers that conceal the body love emanating in a glow of beloved skin, white, smooth abdomen down to the hair between our legs. It's not a God that bore us, that forbid our being, like a sunny rose all red with naked joy between our eyes and bellies. Yes, all we do is for this frightened thing we call love, want, and lack. Fear that we aren't the one whose body could be beloved of all the brides of Kansas City, kissed all over by every boy of Wichita. Oh, but how many in their solitude weep aloud like me on the bridge over Republican River, almost in tears to know how to speak the right language. On the frosty, broad road, uphill between highway embankments, I search for the language that is also yours. Almost all our language has been taxed by war. Radio antenna hijack.